So Zach, we've just seen the launch of the MCL60 for this season's 2023 campaign. How excited are you about the season ahead?
Very excited, very anxious, always am this time of the year. So we'll see the car on the track here in a couple weeks, but I think the team's done a very good job. Long hard work over the winter, and excited to see our two race car drivers, one being new to the team, behind the wheel of the MCL60.
Now it's a big year for the team because it's 60 years since Mclaren started racing. Important milestone for the team to get to, isn't it?
Yeah, 60 years. We've accomplished a lot, but we're still running hard. 20 World Championships, a Le Mans win, and a couple Indy 500s. Pretty cool. But we're looking forward to the next 60 years, one step at a time, and hopefully we'll have a strong season this year.
And you mentioned new driver lineup, or partly new driver lineup. You got Andrea joining as well as team principal, promotion into team principal. What are the expectations? Because that's a lot of change, isn't it, heading into a new year?
Well, it's not too much change. Andrea's been with us for almost a decade. He's been responsible for running the racing team, so it's a natural progression for Andrea to run the team for us, which is very excited about what he's doing and bringing the team together. Of course, Lando's now going to be in his 5th season, and Oscar's a very exciting rookie. So, expectations, we obviously want to take a step forward from last year, work on our way back to the front. We've got a lot of infrastructure that's going to be landing this year, which will really benefit us more in 24 and 25. So, we just want to have constant improvement over the course of the season.
Now, you mentioned that infrastructure. It's been great to see you guys having so much investment over the last few years. How important is that to the team over the next few years?
I think it's critical. It's certainly an area that we've identified that's been a big shortcoming of ours. We've underinvested in our infrastructure over the last decade. We now have everything that we need on order. Not everything's yet open for business, so to speak, but we're close, and so it's exciting when you walk around the MTC to see all the building projects that are going on, and it feels pretty close now.
No, it's not quite here yet, but in terms of what you're hoping to get out of, say, the new wind tunnel and the new facilities, you mentioned a couple of years. It's more for medium-term projects, isn't it, for all of that to play out going forward?
Yeah, I think everything's about incremental gains. So we're not betting everything on the wind tunnel or the new simulation or the new manufacturing, but it's a combination of all that's going to allow us to take steps forward in all those areas. So it's all about chipping away at the gap that there is to the front of the field. It'll take some time, but as long as we're moving forward, it'll go pretty quick.
Now, you mentioned Andrea's been at the team for a long time now. How has he stepped into that new role from what you've seen in the early days?
It's been great. Very welcomed by the team. Obviously, he's very well known within the team. Very much a team player. Very technically driven. Very passionate and very hardworking. So that's what you want out of the racing team. So I think he's going to be a great leader. He has been a great leader, and looking forward to going racing with him.
And with Oscar joining the team, I think he's so excited to finally get started. We talked a lot about his debut. How is he settling in, and what have you made of him so far? Yeah,
very good, very professional, very focused. Going to go see him test in not too long, and he's got his head down and very focused on the job at hand. I think he and Lando are going to be a pretty awesome driver combination.
I can't believe this is Lando's 5th season in Formula 1.
It's crazy. Time flies.
Does, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
You've seen him evolve during that period of time. What differences have you seen, and how different is he from last year into this year?
He's always been mega fast. His racecraft continues to get better and better with experience. He doesn't make mistakes. So he's one of the best guys in the sport, and that's exciting because that's a great benchmark for us and Oscar. And so we can get two of our racing drivers competing with each other, then they'll drive us and the team forward on the grid.
Just missed out on P4 last year to Alpine. What's the target for you this year? What would be a positive for you guys?
Not to miss out on P4.
Good answer. And just finally, there's been a lot of chat in the press about maybe Honda partnering up with you guys. I think it's quite impressive for you guys to have that attention, because it means you're doing something right. Is that what you're doing at the moment, just talking to potential investors? Because the future for Formula 1 is bright, isn't it?
We're very happy with Mercedes. They've been a great partner. We've obviously got a long history with them. 2026 is far away, but at the same time, you got to start thinking about 26. So that's all we're doing now, is starting to think through what does 26 and beyond look like. But we're very happy where we are.
Andrea, congratulations on your new role as team principal at Mclaren. How have you found the winter, and how are you finding the role so far?
Yeah, it's been busy, intense, so far, but also I would say very interesting and to some extent even enjoyable. Obviously I had the lack of knowing the team already, but in this role I needed to go into even greater level of detail, especially in the technical area, the manufacturing area, understand those areas a bit better, identify together with the directors all the opportunities, and then above all for me has been about assessing the team, setting the vision, the mission, making sure that everyone is on the same page, everyone understands the priorities, and then work hard to get the job done.
In Lando and Oscar Piastri is joining the team this year. You've got a very exciting lineup. What are you expecting of them this year?
Indeed, I think the lineup is very exciting. We have talented drivers, strong prospects for the future, but already in the present we know with Lando, incredible natural speed, but also great sense of development. I think that's the combination of the two that makes him one of the best drivers on the grid. And with Oscar, we know he's a proven winning material. We like him. He's a man of few words, but the right words, which is a characteristic we like. Working very well together over the winter to set up the season ahead. So I would say so far so good.
Now it's that time of year where everyone likes to set objectives for the season ahead. What are your objectives and what would a positive 2023 look for McLaren?
So the high-level objective is to keep growing as a team, close the gap to the front of the grid. We know we are realistic about the short term, but we also know that we have good developments coming for the season already on this new car. And also we have some high-level projects as well in terms of delivering the new infrastructure, including the wind tunnel. We are strengthening the team power, the workforce, and also we are working hard to elevate the standards, the way we work at McLaren. So that's our focus, that's the challenge. We know that if we do a good job there, results will be a consequence.
You mentioned development. Last year, lots of teams took different approaches to it. What's the approach from McLaren this year?
Last year it was an interesting one, as you say, very different approaches. So definitely we studied what our competitors were doing, and we also tried to continue with our own stream of development. So I guess, like natural, there will be a little bit of a blend of both approaches. And I think, like I said before, we have good developments coming beyond what we see in the launch specifications, so we look at the season with optimism.
You mentioned the launch specification, we've got the car right behind you. How different is it, generally speaking, to last year's car?
I think at a glance it just looks more racy. You know, like if you see in the side pods, for instance, you can see the work that has been done in design, the great teamwork that has happened at McLaren. But ultimately what's important is in the numbers in terms of aerodynamic efficiency, power. We are happy with what we have achieved, but we know more is needed to actually be able to close the gap to the front of the grid.
And just finally, I know you haven't been in the job for very long yet, but have you managed to put anything to place already, and are there things immediately that you want to be putting into place across the season?
Into place?
Into place, so yeah.
I don't think there's anything, a single thing specifically. Like I said before, it's more about getting the big picture right, and certainly establishing steady, constant development rate of the car is one of our key priorities. But we do have to improve from an infrastructural point of view in terms of having just a stronger team overall. We are expanding the team, so it's a combination of several factors that will put in place ultimately the results as a consequence.